Good afternoon, people, and welcome to Techie Thursdays. I'm here with Eric Nunez, one of our tech support experts, and myself, Carlos Larson, who are going to show you a little bit about a very nice feature that I'm pretty sure most people don't use. They know they have it, but do not use it. First of all, I want to apologize for our first try. We have technical difficulties here that has changed, and we're not going to encounter any type of interruptions this time. So basically what we're going to look is at what we call here at Nexigi answering rules. Answering rules is basically the rules that we're going to put to incoming calls to our own phone numbers, our extensions, our 10-digit numbers, and so on and so forth. So I've been in the telephony business for 20 years. Yeah, it's a lot of time, but the good thing is that I don't age, so I'm still here. In any case, I've been in this business for 20 years, and guess what? I don't answer the phone if I don't recognize the number. Why? Because I'm getting all those stupid telemarketing calls about, insurance, about Aprenda Inglés, about so many crap out there that it's really annoying. So if I don't recognize a number, I'd rather just let it go to voicemail. People who want to connect with me will leave a valid voicemail. People who, are just bothering me are just going to let it go. And if it's a machine, just because my voicemail picked up, most dialers out there are going to just basically take my number down and we'll never use it again. So let's start with that example. Eric, I hate a specific number that's been calling me and bothering me, and I keep getting that number and I keep sending them to voicemail. But this is a live person. This is not a machine. So he keeps on calling me. He's offering me some sort of a weird course, after an adult, old age kind of thing. And I'm really tired of that. So what can I do, I don't want my phone ringing when this guy's calling. I want this guy, just saying, what the hell happened? This number has been disconnected. How can I do that with my, with answering rules? So show me that a little bit.
So if I'm getting a lot of calls from somebody who's being extremely persistent and they're just not getting the hint, one of the easy features that you can do here is you can actually block a phone number from dialing in and reaching your extension. And it's just can be done at the matter of a couple clicks. So if I wanted to block a phone number here, I can simply just click my allow block button, and I'm going to have two different fields, allowed numbers and block numbers. So if I were to enter a phone number here, for example, 786
555-1212, that's his number.
555-1212?
Yes.
All right, well, let's get him out of here. I went ahead and hit the plus button here, and now that person can no longer call in to my extension because he's been added to my block list.
You're saying that every time he calls and dials in, not even voicemail? I mean, he's not gonna get...
He won't even ring. His phone will say not dialable number. Like, it will not ring. He won't hear anything. It will just get a dead air.
Nice, that's amazing for telemarketing calls. So the only step you need to do is basically manually add the number, and you'll avoid calls from this guy again. That's awesome. Obviously, this guy has been calling my Nexigi, my office number. Would have been great if I could do that on my cell phone, but it's just simply not possible. So that's why usually I give my office number and never my cell phone number. So people don't have access to my mobile number and I can control this kind of things. Obviously, I'm giving away now my Nexigi, my office number. So how do I, if I'm out to lunch and, I'm giving my mobile number, I also want to be reached, right, by people dialing my Nexigi number, or imagine you dialing my extension. So what can I do if I want my phone that's sitting on my desk ring simultaneously to my cell phone, right, when you call me? And so, since I'm not on my desk, I'm not going to pick up the call there, but I'm going to pick it up on my cell phone. So can you do that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Can you show me?
Not only can you make it forward directly to a cell phone, but like you said, you can have it simultaneously ring your desk phone along with your cell phone. So as you can see here, I'm in my answering rules. I can see that it is during after hours, as it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and edit my answering rules here. And at the moment, I currently have my calls being forwarded to a specific off-net number. So if I wanted my desk phone to ring along with my cell phone, I can go ahead and set up a simultaneous ring right down here. And I can also go ahead and add in my cell phone number so that it can simultaneously ring with my desk phone.
So you basically put your cell phone number here, which is 305-555-1212. And every time you call me here, or in this case, they're calling you, your phone, your cell phone is going to ring simultaneously to your desktop.
Absolutely. And if you have multiple numbers, you can always add multiple numbers on and have multiple numbers ringing simultaneously at a time.
What happens when you pick up a call and you're sitting down at a restaurant? Are everybody here in the office going to, is your phone going to keep on ringing, or does it stop ringing?
No. As soon as the cell phone answers the call, or we get any kind of response from that external cell phone number, the desk phone is going to stop ringing because we've already recognized that the call has been answered.
Awesome. So yeah, I did not miss that call. This person dialed my office number. I picked it up on my cell phone. They don't know my cell phone, so guess what? They cannot call me Saturday, right? That's pretty cool. And not only that, but I record all my calls. As simple as that. So that call would have been recorded, not if they reached my cell phone. So that's pretty cool. Perfect. All right. Okay. So I know that I'm gonna be spending 2 months at a hotel, and they give me a phone number. So I don't want my cell phone ringing simultaneously to my desktop, because I know that I'm going to be at the same number for 60 days. So what's the best way to treat those incoming calls so they always go to the same number?
Well, in the case that you don't want your desk phone to be ringing along with your cell phone, is what you're saying, you would like it to just simply forward directly to the hotel number.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, in that case, you'd head over to your answering rules again. You're going to go ahead and hit the little pencil so you can edit them. And instead of hitting a simultaneous ring when you want multiple devices to ring at the same time, you can disable that and just simply enable an always forward. So that is a direct forward that it's going to go wherever you send it.
It's amazing. So I'm sitting I'm just at my hotel, and I just put the hotel's main number, and people dial in and they say, welcome to Hilton, Hawaii. How can I help you? Oh, I want to reach Mr. Larson. And that's how you do it? That's awesome. Okay. So perfect. Cool. All right. So, okay. I'm not a 9 to 5 guy, but if I were a 9 to 5 guy, I want to pick up my calls on my phone when they dial my Nexity or my office number between 9 and 5.
Okay.
5:01, I hit the gym. I don't want anybody calling or if they dial my number, I don't want to be bothered. I'm on my cell phone. You showed me before that under that setting, my cell phone is going to ring simultaneously. But what if I'm a 9 to 5 guy? So 5:01, no way, not a single call. What do I do? How do I make that the calls after 5 are not going to be ringing on my cell phone?
It's a great question. As you can see here in my timeframes, we have them labeled specifically for that reason. I want to be able to manage my timeframes from specific time blocks, let's say. So during after hours, I have my specific rules. And then for my default, which is considered my after hours, I can have a completely different set of rules that I can adjust and play around with. So in the case of somebody who's a gym addict and they want to be in the gym and not bothered and not have any calls go into their devices after hours, you can simply set up so that after hours you can go ahead and hit do not disturb, and all the calls that will be sent to you after that time frame of your office hours will be sent straight to voicemail.
Let's create one. Let's see how it's done. So
okay.
you would create a new one.
Yeah.
That's going to happen, at 5:01 and 8:59 the next day.
Okay. Well, I already have a couple time frames built, so I'm going to go ahead and select my after hours time frame.
Got it.
So with my after hours time frame, again, I can have a brand new set of rules, but in this case, I just don't want to be disturbed. Right? So I can either set do not disturb, or I can forward them to somebody else's voicemail, maybe my assistant.
Because maybe I'm going to ask you to help me out.
Possibly.
And you pick up my phone.
Yeah.
Excellent.
In this case, I'm going to hit do not disturb, and I'm going to hit save. And then any call that, were to come into my extension after hours will automatically be sent to do not disturb.
Very cool. Very cool. I heard somebody once saying that they wanted their calls to be announced. So they, like in my case, I don't recognize the number, I hang up. Maybe that's somebody, maybe my daughter used somebody else's number and she's in an emergency or something, and I'm not picking up a call. Not nice to happen. So is there a way that, they dial my number and I'm kind of call screening people? Is there a way that, I have to make them announce their name, and then after they do that, the call gets connected to me?
Absolutely.
How do you do that?
Absolutely. So you can do that again per time frame. So let's say you only want call screening for business hours. When you edit your time frames, you're going to see up top, right under the do not disturb, the option for call screening. So it can be enabled and disabled at a click of a button. And once you've saved your time frame, you'll actually be confirmed that calls are being screened during that time frame.
So what happens when they call me? They have to announce their name?
Yes. A recording is going to pop up. It's going to be a pre-recorded message that's going to say, please begin your recording, so Carlos knows who's calling him, let's say.
Excellent. So basically I pick up the phone and say, you have a call from your daughter. Pick up. And that's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's really nice. Excellent. All right. I also encountered one situation that we were in a very bad internet location a while back, and so our internet came going down. You know, our internet AT&T internet came going down. So how do if my phone goes offline, you know, how do I make the system know so that I'm still getting calls forwarded if that condition applies? Meaning I lost power, I lost internet, or I simply lost internet. What do we do?
It's an amazing question. Again, it all goes back to the same answering rules page. Specifically, I'm going to work on after hours because that is the more likely time when somebody would experience an internet outage or a power outage in their office. When I'm editing my answering rules, I'm going to have different types of call forwarding. So one of the features that you see at the bottom of the call forwarding section is when offline. When offline has to do with any phone that loses power or internet connection.
Yeah.
Once the system recognizes that the device is offline, it will automatically trigger this answering rule to take effect and forward all my calls to 305-987-9523.
That's beautiful. So I have an offline condition. You know what? We should everybody should provide their cell phone when they sign up with Nexigi, and set it up statically on the offline condition. That way they'll never ever lose a phone call.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. All right. And I like that D&D as well. You know, sometimes I'm just taking 20 minutes to read the news in the morning, and I don't want my phone ringing. You know, I just turn off my computer and I'm reading from my cell phone. If I send all calls to voicemail, but I want to be screening them, you know, just looking at what's coming in, can I get those D&D calls sent to voicemail into my email? Is that possible?
absolutely.
So how do I set my calls to D&D first of all?
Well, as soon as you, again, in your answering rules, you can actually set your calls to go straight to Do Not Disturb. Essentially, just enabling the Do Not Disturb will disable all other timeframes. So once I go ahead and save that,
The phone's not even going to ring.
Do Not Disturb is active. You are not being bothered. You can go about your day, read your sports section, do what you got to do.
Boom, voicemail.
So now that calls are being sent to voicemail, and I want to make sure that my voicemails are being sent to my email, I can actually just click on my name at the top right, go to my profile, make sure that my email is properly configured. We have this blocked out due to security purposes at this moment.
Sure.
But when I go here into my messages tab and I go into my voicemail settings, there's a field right down here at the bottom that says email notifications.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
So I have different ways of sending these to my email. I can actually send the attachment. I can send a hyperlink, a brief hyperlink, or a brief attachment.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I get that on my, I check my email on my phone, and I see that there's an attachment. Is it a WAV file? Is it something I can?
It is.
Can I play back on my?
You can actually listen to it on your phone.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So we've learned today that we can block unwanted calls. We learned today that we can have a simultaneous ring. So if I'm away from my desk, my phone's gonna ring. Needless to say, if I have the Nexigi mobile app, I don't have to put my phone, my AT&T phone to ring. I can just have my answering rules set to ring all extensions. And since my smartphone app is my extension, then it's going to ring. So in that case, what do I do?
Well, in the case that you want your soft phone application to ring along with your desk phone, you can set up a simultaneous ring. So let's say I wanted to delete my actual cell phone number and I only wanted to ring all users' phones.
Beautiful.
All devices that are under my extension are going to simultaneously ring on all incoming calls.
So what you're saying is that by creating this type of answering rules, then any company, any Nexigi customer becomes, accountable for all the calls that they're getting. So this is pretty cool for sales guys or anybody that needs to be accountable for in terms of calls made and received. So if I use my app on my smartphone and the call was directed there, then my supervisor would know that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then there's another use for that answering rule. That's fine. New things that we learn all the time. All right, so I think we have that pretty much covered. One last question: who creates those the time of days and the after hours and office hours? Is it Nexigi that needs to create that, or
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Anybody can log in with the right scope, preferably an office manager scope or a call center supervisor scope, and set the timeframes that are company-wide and can be shared amongst users.
Okay, so I go to you and say, hey, create me one from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., which is actually my on time, and then you'll create that and you'll tell me that's Tuto's office hours, and I set it up like that, and that's it.
Yeah, and then you head over to add rule, and you should be able to find that rule in your drop-down menu.
Okay. All right. Well, that's perfect. I think we've covered pretty much everything on this simple but powerful, tool, the what we call answering rules. And let's go ahead and see if anybody has a question. You can post questions over the chat, and we're monitoring in case anybody here has a question, so we can answer before our time runs out. Although we have like 15 minutes to go. Do we have any questions? All right. Well, yeah. We pretty much explained everything. I think everybody got it. So excellent. All right. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining today. And let us know if just email us at sales@nextg.com or support@nextg.com in case you want to activate this type of service and you are a little bit confused. Obviously, if you don't have access to the portal, also send us an email or call 1-866-NEXTG1, and the team here will be more than happy to make sure that you have access to your web portal. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Eric, for your help here, and see you guys next Thursday, same time, 2 p.m. on our Techie Thursday webinars. Thank you.
Thank you, Tuto. I look forward to it.
Thanks.